awkward silence. I know that was really awkward. I was just waiting for the live stream to start streaming. It will let me know when it actually officially starts streaming. So that awkward silence was me waiting for it to let me know that it's streaming. You know, I use an app and I basically watch it load until it lets me know that I am live. So that's what the awkward silence was about. Oh, anyhow, I decided to make a video tonight because I have something that, well, I have something that's been on my mind, and, I've kind of gotten it off of my chest, but not, like, completely. I know it really help when I just, like, go to sleep already. But anyhow, here's the story. Basically, like, this summer, it was a really, like, big goal of mine to learn how to drive and to do driving practice and to do driving lessons. It was, like, number one. It's, like, top priority because I hardly have time for that stuff when I'm going to school. That's why it was so important. And something kind of came in my way and kind of like someone kind of interfered with this, and now it's got shot down. Now it's all shot down now, but you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Anyhow, why say that someone interfered and shot this down? Let me explain, okay? Because it's not what you're thinking it is. Because, like, basically, when I do driving lessons, I've gotten to a point where my driving instructor wants me to practice in between lessons, and, anyhow, which I do need to do if I want to progress further and learn. Anyhow, I did practice one time with my dad, but my dad we practiced in an empty parking lot on a Sunday. That's like the best day to practice, and you know, my instructor didn't tell me yet that I can be practicing in subdivisions, and this is kind of like a whole thing. It's really complicated. It's more than just my dad, but basically I say for the most part it's my dad who's the problem because he basically lacks the patience. He doesn't have enough patience to be in the car with me while I'm doing driving practice. You know, he really has to coach me and kind of teach me, and I think that he wants to be in a situation. I don't think he minds me practicing driving so much, but what he does mind is being in the car while he doesn't have the patience to be in the car while I'm looping around in a parking lot, plus having to teach me and instruct me and tell me every little thing I need to do. He came out to me about that recently, that he doesn't want to do it anymore. And when I did practice, I practiced like I think about 2 weeks ago with him. Well, it was like I think the first week that I got off from school. I had my last day of school around June 8th, and today is around, like, today is the 25th. I've been off for I've been off for maybe like about 3-ish, 2-ish, 3-ish weeks. But anyhow, the last time I practiced with my dad, things were fine. I had a good experience. Nothing, it was a good experience. He didn't get impatient with me or anything during practicing. And I realize why this is happening now, why I'm just now hearing about these complaints, is because my dad didn't want to say anything to me about it during my lesson. He was probably thinking it, but he didn't want to say it out loud. He knew not to verbalize it because he knew that it would hurt my feelings, and he didn't want to hurt my feelings, so that's why I had a good experience during the lesson, and that's why I thought everything was fine, because he didn't say anything on that day right there and then, because he didn't want to bring me down, he didn't want to hurt my feelings, but he was probably already thinking it. I'm sure he was probably already thinking it. He probably just didn't want to say anything because he knew it would hurt my feelings, and he was probably like, she's not going to be happy about this, and like, he probably thought I was going to have a fit, maybe, I don't know. But that's why I'm just now hearing about this, because I wanted to practice with him again, and he's like telling me, no, I only want to do like subdivisions, I don't want to be looping around a parking lot, blah blah blah, but he's just being really difficult now. I mean, the way I look at it is, if you're complaining about me being in a parking lot for maybe about, like, we actually did 2 parking lots. We got kicked out of one parking lot, so I had to go to another because one of the parking lots doesn't allow student drivers, and the security came up to us and told us. Basically, we got kicked out, okay? But anyhow, we went to another parking lot. I mean, we did both. I mean, if you combine both the parking lots, it was about 45 minutes. And if you can't do a parking lot with me for 45 minutes, I mean, I think this is just gonna, like, I'm just gonna hear the same shit about practicing in subdivisions, like, oh, I don't want to be driving down the same streets, well, I know that's mean. I don't want to, I know I'm kind of, like, being a little mean. I'm kind of, like, making fun of him and making fun of the situation. I guess I'm coming off as a little mean. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to complain about parking lots, you're likely going to complain about practicing in subdivisions. And then you're going to complain about practicing in traffic, too. There's likely to be more complaints down the road. So, I decided that basically, you know what? Screw this. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I mean, and I'm not saying that I'm never gonna practice with my dad again. I might, if he, can, like, if he can just, like, what can I say, if he can just, like, be normal about it, and be, like, patient about it and normal about it. I mean, he was patient the whole time during the lesson. I need somebody who's going to be patient outside the lesson too. But anyhow, I want to cut to the chase because I don't want this to be a super long video. I'm trying to work on making my videos a little shorter. But I know somebody who is a really close friend of mine who has taught somebody how to drive before. So my friend has already had experience with this, and I know somebody who would be a great fit, who would be excellent. I know somebody who would be really patient and really kind. You know, I know somebody who's willing to help me out with this. So that's why I'm saying, like, that's why I'm kind of saying that about involving my dad. That's why I'm kind of saying, you know what, I don't need this bullshit, because I have somebody that I know really well by now, and they're willing to teach me. So, but anyhow, here's the catch. This person that I know, unfortunately, they used to have a car, but they don't have a car now. And anyhow, end of story. Yeah. So, I mean, which is, that's okay. But basically, I'm in a situation now where basically to do any kind of serious driving practice, I'm going to have to get my own car. That's what all the, that's what all the, like, those stresses about, because I can't afford a car right now. I can't. I am going to have to save up for it. So, I'm going to have to get my own car. I have to. So, anyhow, that was just a real, like, it was kind of, it's kind of a shock to me, because I was kind of, like, putting that off for way in the future, kind of like, I thought I was gonna, like, work on getting my license first, but all this has kind of changed. I mean, that's what it is. That's what I say right now, but unless my dad changes his mind and maybe realizes that he's in the wrong, unless he realizes that he's wrong by complaining about practicing in parking lots, and that it's like where my skill level's at. I mean, unless he realizes, unless I'm basically saying, unless he changes his mind, this situation will not change. And I know my mom is no better about being impatient. She has offered to teach me, but I'm not even insured on her car, dude. So it's like, oh god, no, bad idea. Bad idea. The car's not paying in full. It's newer. Bad idea. Bad idea. That's just a really, really bad idea. And I know she's no better at being patient, if not worse. Yeah, she's probably worse at being impatient. She's probably, like, the worst. I hate to have her teach me anything. Like, she was telling me today that basically, like, I have some, like, holes in my shirt that need to be sewn, and she was basically telling me today that, like, she she was basically saying, I'm going to teach you how to sew. And I'm like, nope, I don't want to do it. Nope. I watched a YouTube tutorial on that today, and I rather try it by myself first before coming to her, man, because I don't really, I don't really like doing anything with her. I mean, I lack patience myself. I have some elements of impatience in my personality, and people know this. I would say I have like a type A minus personality. I am type A, but there's people that are type A that are a lot worse than me and a lot more impatient than me. I think I can be pretty laid back in some situations that other people at type A would not be so laid back. So I think I have like a type A minus personality. It's not like some people with type A can get really angry and aggressive and impatient, and impatient to a more extreme degree. Some people can get impatient to a more extreme degree. I don't feel my impatience is at such a as a extreme degree. But yeah, it's just like an element of my personality, and it's hard to control it. And my friend has a lot of patience, and as I know, that is a skill that you have to learn. Well, yeah, I guess I don't know if it's a skill you learn through life experience or what. I don't know. Maybe through this I'll learn patience. So they always say that like when you struggle that builds character, so just saying. Anyhow, another thing that I want to say is I think another reason why I want to drive has to do with my self-image and the way I look at myself. Like I'm just so concerned with my image, and I feel, oh, my image as a person isn't complete if I can't drive. But that is so not true. I mean, I think that's because people have criticized me for not driving before. Yeah, I've literally had people criticize me all my life for not being able to drive and not having a driver's license. And you know what I got to say to those people who criticize me? They're such negative people. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, negative people. Fuck the critics. Just fuck them. Those people who criticize me for not having a license, not being able to drive. I mean, gosh, I really, I really am I'm really I would consider myself to be like a fighter, like I'm like not a fighter like physically, like um when I say that, sometimes people can get that mixed up with somebody who actually likes to fight. I mean fighter in being resilient, and like I like to describe myself as being resilient. I try to stand up for myself, but I just try to fight through whatever struggles I got. I'm kind of like a survivor, you know. It's probably a better way to say it, like I'm a survivor, So anyhow, I'll get to, any obviously. Oh, I got a warning, slow connection. I'm gonna move to the other side of the room. I don't want my video to stop. It's happened to me before. These videos get cut off. So anyhow, yeah, this is just I like posted on Facebook and Instagram what my like top priorities were for the summer vacation, and driving was like number one. But I mean, now it's kind of like, in my mind, it's still top priority, but now it's kind of like taking a back seat now, because I realize that it's a lot. It's unfortunately, circumstances are complicated for me. Um, because my dad doesn't really like have the patience. I don't even know if he has the right attitude. He doesn't have the patience, and you know, when he's actually teaching me, it seems like he has the patience, but it's just like a couple weeks later, I'm hearing all this complaining, you know. What the fuck? Like, okay. So, anyhow, I'm not saying I'd never, like, go out with him doing driving practice again. I'm not saying that, but I'm just very disappointed. That's all. I'm disappointed. You know, I sincerely thought that he would I sincerely thought that he would not have a problem with it and not mind it and understand. But I'm very disappointed. I also think it's a little selfish too. What he's doing, I also think it's a little selfish. I know, however, he told me that it's hard on his car too, so that I do understand. But everything else, like getting bored just because they're going around and around the circles, I kind of have a hard time understanding that a little more. But anyhow, I get it. I get it. And I know he's probably stressed out. And I mean, I'm not gonna like, um, I don't want to bash him, because like he does like a million favors for me already, and he's like my personal chauffeur already as it is, because I don't have a license. He basically takes me everywhere, and I have to wait for him to get back home to work. I don't really go to places with my mom very often, because it's not fun, and my mom's not my mom's just not very cool. My dad is, and yeah, I don't really like hanging out with my mom at all. And sometimes we don't get along too, and it can get like, sometimes my mom will tell me that I'm annoying her just because I'm standing too close to her. She always is telling me that she wants her space, and she does this out in public so everybody can hear it. She wonders why I don't want to hang out with her or go anywhere with her. She's one of those people that you can't tell her nothing, you know. She doesn't realize her actions. She doesn't think, you know, and you can't tell her anything. But anyhow, yeah, my dad already does a million favors for me as it is. I mean, my dad does a whole lot for me. You know, my dad does a lot, and my life would be a lot different without him here. You know, it would be so much different in a bad way. My life would be different in a bad way if he weren't in my life, you know. And I feel that he's a really good dad, and that he does go out of his way for me, and does a lot of things that most dads wouldn't do. So, I've noticed this whole thing with the driving practice and all that. The learning how to drive thing has created a lot of tensions in the family. It's created like, my mom overheard like a conversation that my dad and I were having outside about this, and it's created a lot of tension, you know, in the family. And I know it's created some tension with him, because I'm like, no, Dad, I'm not ready to do subdivisions yet. I'm gonna get your car in an accident and blah blah blah. And he's like, and he's like, well, I don't want to do parking lots anymore. That's all I want to do. You know, he wants one thing. He wants one thing. I want another thing. So I want one thing. He wants one thing. We have like two different opinions. We're in disagreement with each other. So it's just creating tension and drama, anyways. And I don't want that in my life, you know? So, anyhow, after having a long conversation with my friend tonight, um, I basically know where I'm at with all this now, and I basically decided I'm not gonna worry about it anymore, not as nearly as much, because there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I'm just kind of disappointed, but I'll get over it. You know, I'm disappointed. You know, but I'll get over it. Yeah, very disappointed, but I will get over it. I mean, we get disappointed in everybody, so I mean, everybody gets disappointed at people. You know, it happens. It's just part of life. It happens. Anyhow, I'm gonna go back to my bed and see if I can get a better connection again. Okay, I hope I don't get like a slow connection. I'm just basically, it's like almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just basically doing this video so like I can go to sleep, because I just want to get this out one last and final time. It's good to air out your problems, and YouTube's excellent for that, right? Anyhow, so I'm still gonna get my license. Still gonna be able to drive. I'm just probably, I mean, the way the situation is now, it may change. What I'm dealing with now is I'm gonna have to get a car before I get a license so I can just practice with it. I mean, there's a ton of upsides to getting a car, to practice with getting my own car. It alleviates a lot of my fears of getting my parents' cars in an accident, because my parents really depend on their cars, and it alleviates a lot of their fears, and I feel my dad will be a lot more at ease and a lot more patient with me if I have my own car anyways. And he actually said that. I actually asked him about this, but he's 100% on my side when it comes to getting my own car. He's 100% like on my side about this, and I think he realizes that he does have to practice with me, at least, some of the time, to help me get my driver's license. It kind of sucks that I know he would be compensating his time. I know it kind of sucks that I can't really, I mean, I should do something for him. Like, I should maybe take him out to lunch or dinner, or buy, I mean, I should, like, kind of, like, compensate him for this. Well, I'm only saying that because he was complaining. But, I mean, well, I'll get there later. I mean, I think the story is really going to change when I get my own car. I mean, another good thing about getting my own car is it's guaranteed that I will actually have a car when I get my license. So I won't have to worry about car shopping and all that when I get a license. I'll already have it. Yeah, so basically, more into more in depth about the car thing. Basically, Craigslist has like the best prices on cars, and there's some other places on the internet, but I was particularly looking at Craigslist because a friend that I met through my dad, um he got a car recently on Craigslist. another person I know got a car recently on Craigslist, so and the price was pretty good. Um, I also know to watch out with not buying a car that I have to pour into much of money into because of maintenance problems. So I also know to be careful. Anyhow, this is something that I'm gonna have to save up for, and it looks like it's gonna take a year. I mean, what I'm thinking is I may take one last driving lesson this summer, or maybe like 3 more. I don't know. Oh yeah, another thing is I don't see why I should have to start at zero when it comes to saving for a car, because I already have somewhat of a savings build up. But anyhow, it's like sort of an emergency fund of some sorts, because like um my mom has a say in it too, like it's a joint savings. So, because it's a joint savings, I can't just pull money out of there and put it in my personal savings account just because I want to. I have to go through her because it's joint. Anyhow, I have another savings account. It's like I call the joint savings account 1, and I call my personal savings account 2, and I do use it. But I want to take like some money out of the joint savings and put it in my personal savings just to get started on the car saving thing, because it will be a lot easier if I don't have to start from zero. It'll make me feel a lot better, and it'll be a lot easier if I don't have to start from like ground zero. It'll be a lot easier for me. It'll be much easier. Anyhow, I think I can get a decent car anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000, or well, I don't know, 1,000 to 4,000. I know anything under like I know around anything that's 4,000 or 3,000, I think is not going to be like a problem with having it being a big fixer upper problem. But if I go for something that's like 1,000 or 2,000, it might be a big problem being a fixer upper car where I have to pour money into like maintenance, and it would end up costing more in the end. And I don't want that, so I have to be careful. I don't know. There might be some decent ones that are cheaply priced too that might not be a huge fixer upper as far as the as far as like, I mean, I don't really care about the cosmetics so much. I more care about like um the engine and all the other components of the car that keep it running. I mean, yeah. Anyhow, I'm sure I'll find something. I'm sure I will find something. Anyhow, the bright side of this is I'm gonna get a car sooner. Well, not necessarily. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would get a car any sooner if I got my license when I originally thought I was gonna get it. So I'm not sure. But I have to. But the best thing is just to save up for a car myself, because then this close friend that I have, can teach me driving and practice with me, and spend time with me, and we can do all that. Yeah, but I have to have a car. I know insurance is also a thing too, and there's like insurance is a thing. Registering it is also, so there's like, yeah, it's similar. It's buying property. So there's it's a form of personal property, and there's a lot of, I mean, it's like, it's I don't want to say it's a, I mean, I'm not trying to like, I could make sort of a comparison to like buying a house. I don't know, it may not be that similar to buying a house, but I can make a comparison to buying a house. You know, if you've ever bought a home before, there's fees associated with it. Tons of fees. We got tons and tons and tons of fees. Okay, I know this because I've taken personal finance. Alright, I just took it last semester, and I know this. So, same thing with buying a car. There's fees associated with it. Okay, there's a fee associated with registering it. There's a fee associated with insurance. Well, that's like a reoccurring thing. But yeah. So anyhow, that's why it would probably take me about a year to save up for like a cheap car. I mean, it's something that I need to do because I need a car to practice with, and my parents' cars are not really cars to practice with. So, I mean, the way I look at it now is it's kind of meant to be. Okay, I know this video is kind of getting long, so I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna do a quick subject change here. I know, I was, looking on Instagram recently, and, I've been seeing a lot of, posts about sensory toys, especially since, the fidget spinners have, grown in popularity by, you know, fidget spinners have, like, taken over, so, those are, I think that was is part of the market of sensory toys, and I saw a couple posts about it on Instagram, and I have autism. It's mild, but I have it. Wasn't really like too aware about what toys were sensory toys until the fidget spinners have grown in popularity like they have. I become more aware about it recently, but anyhow, I think most of the ones that are on the market are actually kind of boring. They're more designed for like kids. I know basically it's just with sensory toys it's just important to have that like tactile stimulation, you know, just to be able to touch something and to feel it, and maybe it feels squishy, it has like a certain texture. I know that tactile stimulation is important when you're looking into like a sensory toy. Anyhow, I know something that's a lot more adult oriented that I would like a lot better since I'm an adult, right? Yeah. And yeah. Oh, you know, the only problem is my mom, you know, when I order packages, my mom, like, literally opens all my packages. I'm not even kidding. She opens all my packages. That wouldn't stop me from ordering, you know, I've ordered adult stuff before. That wouldn't stop me from ordering anything, but I know this item would be probably more offensive than stuff I've ordered in the past. I would just, like, after ordering it coming, I would just, after ordering it, I would just come up to her and say, hey, can you not open my package, because this may offend you unless you don't mind, because you might get offended or something. I could just come up to her and say, hey, you know, this item might offend you, so don't open the package if you're sensitive to it. I mean, sometimes I'm not really sure what she's sensitive to and not sensitive to. Well, she gets offended when I swear, so, I don't know. she may be like semi easily offended. I don't know. There's probably people that are more easily that can get more easily offended than her, but I know she's kind of sensitive to certain things, you know. I would just tell her, can you not open this package because you may get offended. It's not going to stop me from getting it, though. Oh, yeah, I know. This summer, is basically, I'm going to teach myself how to live on a stricter budget. I've already kind of been living on a budget, but, I'm going to live, like, on a stricter budget this summer. The only reason why I'm saying that I'm looking into getting something else as like a sensory toy is because I have been experiencing some stress in my life with this driving thing. But I know I'm about ready to hang it up. But I mean, there's just other times where I feel there's always problems coming in and out of my life. I mean, and one really good thing about college that I really like is when you're in college and when school's going on, school really takes your mind off of the other problems that you have in your life. You tend to not focus on them as much because you're focused on school so much. You tend to not focus on those other problems, and those other problems come into perspective when you're like on summer vacation and not going into school. At least that's like my experience. But anyhow, yeah, we all have problems. Anyhow, maybe I get anxious easier, or maybe I get anxiety easier because of my mild autism. I don't know. I just feel like it would be a good idea. I mean, besides being inspired by the post on Instagram about all the sensory toys, I just feel like it would be a good idea. Yeah, and by the way, about fidget spinners, I do have one, but I feel that's really it's not enough. It's not enough. I mean, I've hardly ever. I mean, I like my fidget spinner, but I've hardly used it. I have one with lights on it, so it's like really cool. But anyhow, um, I feel like I need to get something that I'm not gonna just put aside, ignore. I feel like I need to get some use out of it. So anyhow, I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna cost money. You know, everything costs money. And I mean, that goes against what I'm saying about the really strict budget thing. That goes against what I'm saying. But I feel that if it's gonna make me happy and it's gonna like balance me out, I don't know, if it's gonna be like therapeutic or some shit, might as well get it. If it's gonna be therapeutic, if it's gonna benefit me, I mean, I just want to make sure that I just want to be sure of myself that if I get something like a sensory toy, that it's gonna benefit me and not just get it just to get it. Anyhow, I feel that this thing that I have in mind will benefit me. I'm only calling it a sensory toy because that's what I'm getting it for, but it's really not. It's really not a real sensory toy. It's something else. But I mean, it has texture and it's squishy, you know, and well, it's more adult oriented, so of course it's not gonna be like. Of course it's not gonna like come up on the typical Google search of sensory toys. Of course, we're talking about an adult product here. Okay, it's not gonna like. Anyhow, you don't know what I'm talking about with sensory toys, then feel free to research it. Yeah, so I had a more adult product in mind because I just feel that the sensory toys that are on the market that are really popular, I feel most of them are actually kind of boring and wouldn't really do much for me. So I have something in mind that would have the same qualities as a typical sensory toy, but would actually be really exciting for me as well, and be something that I really gonna get some value out of because it's more tailored for me, because I'm an adult and it will entertain me, and like, oh my god, all the guys watching this are like, I already got a feel for what she's talking about, man. I know what she's talking about. All the guys are like, oh my god, I already know what she's talking about. Well, if you've watched my other videos, I'm an open book anyway, so I've probably already talked about having these kinds of things. I've already probably talked about it. Just watch my previous video, and I already talked about it, so it's like, I'm just not saying it because I just want to be nice tonight. I just want to be nice and light. Usually I just go straight out and say it. I just don't feel like doing that for this video. Not for this video. Not for this video. Why? Because I don't know. I just feel that it would detract from the things that I really want to talk about and be like a huge distraction, and then ruin the video because it would be a huge distraction and detract from the other things I'm talking about. And I don't know. I talk about, well, I've already talked about it enough. Enough. Alright. Anyhow, I'm gonna get some shut-eye. I got another paycheck coming soon, so maybe that's when, I've been, as far as my budget plan thing goes, I've been cheating a lot, with my budget, because, what I mean by cheating the budget is, like, I've been ordering makeup off of Amazon because it's natural makeup without all those chemicals, and yeah, I ordered a VR headset off the internet. I've been kind of, as far as the budget thing goes, I've been kind of cheating a bit. I've been cheating. I haven't been really staying on the budget. And I know if I do this, that just reinforces that. But hey, I feel that if I'm really going to get some value out of this, it's a good idea. And I got like maybe 2 more months of vacation, 2 or 3 more months. Well, hopefully it'll actually help me when I'm going to school as well. So anyhow, hopefully it will be a great buy. I usually don't buy things these days unless I'm actually going to get some value out of it. So that's what I do. I make sure when I buy something that I'm actually going to get value out of it, even if it goes against my budget. I really, 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 really am 100% sure that I'm going to be getting value out of such and such product. See, the fidget spinner, I don't know if I'm getting as much value out of it as I thought, because it's kind of just sitting there being put away. But I'll try to see if I can find more uses for it, because I really believe in getting value for the products I buy. And I know this sensory thing that I want to buy, well, I'd be getting therapeutic value out of it, But I just, anytime I buy something these days, I want to be 100% sure that I'm getting some kind of value from it, or I really need it. Either way. So anyhow, like I said earlier, I'm going to get some shut-eye.